Hello, Kevin. Here we are to talk about the new Southwest Airlines tentative agreement or contract 2020, whatever we're calling it. But I think the voting starts maybe today or tomorrow. We should know if this thing passes probably here in a couple of weeks, Kevin. So we're going to talk today just about the general stuff. What do you got,
Yeah,
man? What do you think?
yeah. Happy New Year, Charlie.
Yeah.
Talked to a number of pilots from Southwest. I've watched all the TA video road show. It's still hard to know everything, but this sucker seems pretty good. Nobody can say if you should vote or not vote, but
Yeah.
at least from what I've heard, it's going to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. All about the prior expectations, right, going into it. But it does seem very competitive to say the least. And so that's a good thing. And we will certainly focus on the financial aspects today. Today, we're going to give a little brief intro, Kevin. We're going to go top 10 financial aspects of the TA that we like. We think provide some pretty awesome opportunities. But what do you think, right off the top of mind? Anything that your takeaways from this thing in general financially?
Well, I mean, financially, Charlie, you get very few times in your life where you get to maybe hit the reset button and hold your lifestyle inflation in check. It's like moving from the right seat to the left seat all over again, and you get a lot more pay and a lot more benefits. So for me, this is a really exciting time. It's a fantastic planning time
Yeah.
for our pilots and their families.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just like a clean slate time. Sometimes people, they're paying off debt or they're getting a refresh of their finances. I think this is an awesome opportunity for that, whether that be in the form of the bonus, higher pay, or both. And then some of the folks are on the cusp of, let's say, early retirement, for example. Hey, I'm 60-year-old pilot, 61, 62. I'm on the verge. This contract sometimes just pushes people over the cusp there, and they're ready to go if they want to, which I think, Kevin, is exciting because work is a lot more fun when you don't have to go.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
That's right, Charlie. That's right. Yeah,
So
it's about choice and not being forced to have to be a slave.
that's
So
right.
I totally agree.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump in. We've got the highlights, the financial highlights of the TA, the top 10. And Kevin, I'll just start rattling off. I think, you tell me if you agree or not. I think the disability is just by far and away the number one.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the least sexy parts
Mhm.
of the contract for most pilots. Don't think about disability. Although watching one of the TA videos that came out, they said the amount of pilots on disability right now at Southwest is higher than it's ever been. So this is something that's extremely important.
Mhm.
And in a phrase, I would say they fixed it. They made it a lot better, Charlie. But
Yeah.
what about the details? What do you think is important about the disability?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. First of all, there's no cap. It's 50% of your pre-disability pay, no cap. That's a big deal. And that's even better. I think United had theirs capped. So that's awesome. The NEC continues on not your disability pay, but your previous pay, which is phenomenal. And I think that is absolutely a game changer, Kevin, because we used to do our planning. We go, okay, you're going to be fine if you become disabled, possibly depending on the insurance and savings. But there's this big but that you're not going to be able to save anymore, possibly. And that's a downer. It was a downer. Now that's kind of fixed. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you could say, hey, 50% is not enough, and I get that.
Mhm.
I definitely get that. It could always be higher, but 50% is a good start. And
Yeah.
Charlie, I think you can still buy some of the supplemental coverage. Is that right? That's not something I ever heard about, but can you
Yeah.
still buy some supplemental disability insurance?
I didn't see anything in the TA other than language about loss of license. So I'm assuming it's still going to be there, but I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. One of the other two things that are really important, a little bit more nuanced, is
Mm-hmm.
that there is a 60-day elimination period instead of 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no time on the loss of license now. There's no time limit. It used to be 5 years or half of your seniority, whichever is longer. And now there's no more impact on artificial last day paid. All those little nitty gritty details are gone. And that's a big deal because it actually punished people for having more sick time. Anyway, we'll get into more details on that later, but this is a good one. It's, I think, the number one.
Right. And for those that are already on disability, I mean, there's more to come there. They talked about the fact that um, that they need to kind of negotiate with MetLife once the contract is actually ratified. So, but I think there's going to be some improvements for those that are already on disability. At least that's my understanding from taking away what I read.
Yeah, same here, Kevin. And again, just having that NAC on the disability, I think, is a game changer in and of itself, not to mention the other stuff. Number two, this is debatable with 2 and 3. I've got either the new higher NEC and or the market-based cash balance plan. I don't know, what'd you put next? Any differentiation there?
It depends on you, how important you think these are. I mean, a couple years ago, 17, 18%, we would have been so thrilled. But now that the other airlines have already kind of come forward with that, maybe it's a yawner. But boy, this makes a huge difference in pilots' retirement, future for your family, etc.
It does. I think I would put market-based cash balance plans number 2 if it were up to me, if I was king of the world. But anyway, only because it allows you to get more money into qualified accounts. The maximum is going to be, for this year anyway, 2024, $16,100. Let me correct myself, I don't think that NEC spillover will be available till 2025, but nonetheless, if it were, you're looking at $16,100 extra into qualified accounts, Kevin. So that's a big deal. And in 2026, you'll be able to get 20%, between 18% non-electric contribution and 2% market-based cash balance plan into qualified accounts, which is phenomenal.
I mean, my eyes kind of opened up wide and saw what an elegant solution that SWA TA came up with here, Charlie. And Damian Jeanette gets at least some credit for it. He was the one that discussed it, but to be able to not only max out your 401k with the NEC and your own contribution, now if you have some spillover cash, it can go into that market-based cash balance pension. And so you can get more than $80,000 in today's dollars into those retirement plans, qualified plans that you don't lose if you leave, and if the company were ever to go bankrupt, still your money. I mean, these are some phenomenal numbers. Again, the details will come, and we'll figure out exactly how it works. But just looking at the flow charts right now, I mean, it really is a pretty elegant solution to not have to use non-qualified and still get between $85,000 and $100,000 per year into these plans over the next few years, Charlie.
That's phenomenal. I do love the Damian Jeanette said it best on one of his videos. Hey, we could have asked for more NEC, but that just kind of goes back to you in cash at a certain limit. And now the ability to get money into qualify is a big deal. And so I thought that was really smart on their part to go after that. Okay, so that's numbers 1, 2, and 3. Number 4 I got here is, my opinion, the new life insurance. You're no longer penalized life insurance wise if you're on the regular plan. Not saying $800,000 is enough for everyone, but I think that's a big deal. That's awesome.
Well, when you look at again what was had before, or what they had before was 50,000. Now you got 800,000. To me, that's pretty incredible. And by the way, I still need to learn more about this, Charlie, but the $800,000 of life insurance plus, it looks like another 800,000 of accidental death and dismemberment. Boy, that's exciting to chat about. But so and that there's a caveat there. If you small aircraft or military duty, I don't think the AD&D would pay out, but still, I mean, it could be 800,000, could be $1.6 million if a pilot was ever in an accident. So I think that just brings some peace of mind, Charlie. And we sometimes, as financial planners, we see the people that are left behind when someone does perish. And for us, at least it's a much better start. And there's no medical underwriting here. So if you're a part of the pilot group, you get it. So that's fantastic.
That's huge. We do, we've had people before where they've kind of unknowingly switch to the regular plan and lose a bunch of life insurance. Then they're not qualified to go get life insurance on, outside of the group. And so they get stuck. Now this kind of solves that problem.
And Charlie, with the life insurance, all of the life insurance that was offered before is still offered through, Southwest. So you're still able to get the extra life insurance if that's something you want to do. So a pilot really could take care of most or all of their needs, through the company. And all of the insurance is portable, which is extremely important. So yeah, let's go over to the pay. Let's go over to the show me the money, the ratification bonus, Charlie.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, number 5, again, my opinion, only my humble opinion, number 5, the ratification bonus pay was pretty phenomenal. I mean, it was, I'm not sure what people were expecting, again, that's really where that comes from. But I just love the idea. You and I started off this conversation with, hey, this gives us a chance to A, pay off some debt, B, get ahead of some savings things, maybe chuck a big portion away for college. That's a big one and a difficult one to solve sometimes. So that's where I think that's a big deal there for that ratification bonus pay.
You can never be too thin, too young, too rich. So it's never going to be enough. And the guys, again, the group and the union, I thought did a great job of just explaining why the ratification bonus was what it was. It's never enough, but it's pretty phenomenal that people are going to be getting a big paycheck. Now that the problem with that now, Charlie, is that the dopamine has left the body as far as that extra money, and now the tax headache is coming in there. So to me, that might be 5.5. Is that a lot of pilots are thinking about the taxes here?
Yeah, taxes are going to hurt a little bit, but like you said, it's one of those necessary evils. All right, so number 6, the pay rates are pretty good. Again, depending on expectations, they're industry competitive, if not leading, and according to which airplane you're comparing to. Again, between the ratification bonus pay and the new pay rates, talk about new opportunity to, get ahead of savings. If you felt like you were behind, this is your opportunity. If you had some things you want to pay off, pay them off. Clean slate type, those two things together.
Charlie, if you don't have a brokerage account, open a brokerage account and start funding it as a retirement vehicle if you have not done that yet. I mean, again, this is a good time for a reset. Not let your lifestyle inflation grow to the moon here, and maybe save some of that extra pay. Just saying, you don't have to. You don't have to. So
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Get that 401k maxed out. That should be easier now. The backdoor Roth is always a good one, and that we love that taxable brokerage account because there's no limit, very flexible. You can take money out for short midterm type goals. And so we get excited about that one, and it's often overlooked. Number 7, the healthcare options now during disability seems to be a little cleaner as far as if I become disabled and I'm out, am I covered with healthcare? And that answer is absolutely yes now. There were some coverages before, but it was a little bit clunkier and whatnot. So now it's pretty clear and straightforward.
Yeah, it used to be a gauntlet that you had to kind of run through, Charlie, and get pummeled while you went through the gauntlet. Now the gauntlet is at least to the pilot. They're not going to see that gauntlet anymore. Right. It's all done for them, which is really exciting.
Yeah, much more straightforward. Number 8, I've got the one-time profit sharing rollover opportunity. Even if you're under 59.5, SWA TA realizes that at some point, even now, mid-level senior FOs, they're not going to get more money in their profit sharing anymore. So now you kind of have this stale account, if you will. They've given everyone the opportunity to do a one-time rollover into your 401k, even if you're below 59.5. You've got to have more than 5 years, though, to be vested and to be able to have that opportunity. But that could be an opportunity some people are excited about.
Yeah, as far as the investment choices go, that's something that we know that you can use any investment choices if you move it over to the 401k and you have the brokerage window, the PCRA. So anyway, enough said with that.
Yeah. Number 9, this is one that was maybe not applicable to a whole lot of people, but the top hat contribution limits went up to 50,000 for everyone that can participate. Now, at the same time, your income requirements went up a little bit to participate in the top hat, but now everyone can do $50,000 deferred income if they want to. So I think that's nice. Before it was age-based and kind of stepped up from
Yeah, I had no
programs.
idea on that one, but you know, if you're saving everywhere and your sock drawer has cash and your you know, your freezer is full of
Yep.
cash and you know, probably if you're in your early 60s, then the top hat could be something that you could use. We wouldn't use it if you're a real young first year FO
That's right.
because that money is not protected. But go
Yeah,
ahead, Charlie.
exactly. Good strategy, like you said, around 60 and tax deferral is tremendous. But anyway, number 10, I put in there that, hey, there's a win here and that there's no changes to a couple of things that pilots really like. And one of those is our vacation scheduling. You know, that's threatened almost every contract by a program called PBS, I think it's called. But anyway, that stuck around, which is great. Southwest has great scheduling for vacation. And then the other thing that I think is a big deal that stayed around was the opportunity to take your sick time at, you know, whenever you retire and use it to pay for spousal health care if someone's younger. And somebody might argue, Kevin, hey, that's very expensive, you know, healthcare, but at the same time, healthcare is very expensive. Believe me, I'm paying for it myself right now. It's very expensive, especially if you're 60 to 65 trying to get a private policy. So I think that's kind of a win that stayed around.
Yeah, you don't know what you have until it's gone, and when
Mhm.
things are gone, it's very painful for us as human beings, and it's not gone. And Charlie, let's just say for the final item is that the bonus is being taxed at maybe 37%. We believe that is true, but we are here to help after that bonus check comes in. We are here to help in this summer to make sure that you're on the right trajectory with the amount of taxes that you're withholding, and you'll not have to pay a bunch of tax at tax time, and you won't also get $1 million refund. So we are here to help, and it's to us, it's not that big of a deal. We understand though that we're not the ones receiving the money after the check and the taxes and the 401k, but anyway, it's something that we can deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. We can help, like you said, and it's kind of difficult to adjust a W-4 this early in the year, early in the game. So when things get settled out, maybe mid-year, like you said, it's much easier to kind of make those, you know, projections. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Kevin, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
well, that's it for the top 10, the big picture changes.